Filter, delete, distort. Filter, delete, distort.
Moving forward with the Decker team. Moving forward together with the Decker team.
Filter, delete, distort.
Okay, we're going to say welcome because we're excited that we've been able to create for you free access to over 503 Life Inside Track episodes where we share insider tips, building wealth, strategies to make the most out of your investments and your life and making your house home. Great news is you get access to them from home, from the office, or on the go. Ken, what are you doing?
I'm filtering, deleting, and distorting my memories.
Okay,
I'm processing out loud.
Okay, so in this episode, what we're going to learn is how your brain filter, deletes, and distorts all the time. And we don't even know it. We don't even have to put effort into it.
No, because we think whatever we've got is truth.
I know.
And that's why when you go and, they examine witnesses of an accident or something, you'll get varied stories. They're looking for the same theme, but a good investigator knows that everybody will not have the same story because they filter, delete, and distort. And if they all have the exact same story, then they know it was contrived.
Isn't that fascinating to think that if you actually get it right with a group of people, that means you're not telling the truth?
It was made up.
Yeah, how fascinating is that? Because the brain automatically, and so let's give you some examples of that. So when you have an event, because of our own experiences and our past and our history and who we are and the things we believe and the things we don't believe, we actually distort the truth according to align with what we know it needs to be.
Mm-hmm. So that's our history, our bias will affect how we perceive something.
Right.
So it distorts it. And sometimes may even make it so bad. Like you and I. There's been times where you'll say something.
Yeah.
And I think I said it. Like 2 weeks later, I'll go, well, I said that. You go, no, I said it. Like my mind is just boggled that I can think I said something. I heard it because you said it. But I think I said it.
And how do we know that I'm right and you're not?
We don't. That's the issue.
So distorting is something we just naturally do, right? It is the matrix. So being aware that that happens for everybody, we've now learned to go, okay, that's fine. If you want to own that quote or that thought or that saying. So that's why you see most of our quotes out there now with both our names on them. Because that
we don't know who said it.
We don't know who said it. We know one of us said it, and then we developed it, and then we explored it. And we know it came out of our environment because it's mostly in the tranquility room that wisdom flows out of our mind and our brain and our pages and stuff.
And this caused so many fights when we were younger. The odd one now, but very, very many when we were younger. Because I would have my version of the event.
Right.
And you'd have your version of the event. And we would get historical in our discussions. And the truth is, your reality, even if it's wrong, is your reality. And it's right to you.
Truth.
That took a decade or two for me to get hold of and accept that your reality is your reality. Even if it is a direct opposite to my truth, it's your reality and I have to respect it.
That's awesome. I'm really excited we've gotten there. So now let's talk about filtering. What would you say about filtering?
Well, filtering is a little part on the brain. It's down near the back. It's called the RAS, the Reticular Activating System. The problem is there is a gazillion. I'll use that word because I don't know how many that is.
Word.
I know. That's why I don't know how many it is. But there's millions of particles of information that are flowing past your eyes, your ears, your temperature, all your senses,
all your
right?
senses, all 5, 6.
And your brain would be overloaded if it took it all in. So the RAS, Reticular Activator System, is a part of your brain that tells your brain what's important to you. And so you see that. Like for me, if I buy a new car and it's a certain color, suddenly I start seeing those cars all over the place in that color. And I'd never noticed them before.
Well, true. And we found it a lot with our real estate clients. When people are in the process of buying or selling, that's when they introduce us to the most people that they know that are also buying and selling. And the reason for that is they're in the mode. So their brain, the reticular activating system, is tuned into other people that are buying and selling and investing in real estate. When they're not in the process of doing it, we get way less introductions because it's when you're in the midst of doing it yourself that you're in tune with hearing and seeing and sensing and experiencing other people, like you're aware of it. You become acutely aware. Even for us, when we're looking at property in a certain area, we'll see the signs there where we might not have seen the signs there before. It works with anything that you are interested in.
You know what's an easy one? Is if you're in a party and it's noisy, everyone's talking. Okay, that's kind of the atmosphere that's hitting the brain. But someone says your name across the room, your brain will go, huh? What? They're talking about me. Right? It's because your brain knows your name is important to you. And have you, when you were pregnant a couple years back?
Yeah, a few years back, because the joke is I'm pregnant now, which I'm clearly not. It's not a possibility. However, it seems to have been a joke like 10 times in the last week. And I don't know why that is. It's funny. It's not funny.
Because you don't look pregnant.
No, I hope not. So anyway, all that to say is when you're pregnant or when you've just had a baby or you have a toddler, you see so many of the same stage of life that you wouldn't have seen if you weren't there. So that's the filtering mechanism. So you can probably relate to in your own life something that you have kind of focused on, and now you see a ton of that in the real world.
Yeah. Now, this is so powerful that a university did a study. And what they did was they had a group of people in a room, and they had some people bouncing a basketball back and forth. And they were told that they needed to count the number of times that the basketball was passed back and forth or hit the ground or whatever it was. So they're focused on that. And that's what their RAS said was important to them.
Because they were told it was. So they turned on their RAS. Their RAS was fully engaged.
Yeah. And then they had a tall person dressed up in a gorilla suit. And that person walked, I think even twice, walked past the people in the background, walked past them, and then came back. And then they asked the people, did you notice anything strange while you were counting the basketballs? First of all, they asked them how many times it hit. And then they said, did you see anything strange? And the majority of people did not see the gorilla walk behind the people.
Well, I didn't.
I did. I watched the same video.
Yeah. So it's out there. So if you want to test it.
Well, the problem is you can't now because you know the gorilla is going to walk.
Oh, yeah.
But you can test it on your friends.
Oh, you test it on your friends. That's way fun because your brain won't actually see what's there if something else is important to you. So it actually works as a filter. And so if you want to see more amazing insights around this sort of stuff, go to YouTube, but also go to the Life's Inside Track on the Decker Team and the Double Decker Life YouTube channel, because we'll talk about this and other fascinating brain mechanisms right there.
Yeah, so you'll want to subscribe so you get notification when we put up a new video. You'll get notification. You can go and watch it.
Thanks for the privilege of journeying alongside us in wealth, wisdom, and worth.
Moving forward with the Decker Team. Moving